a very informative, but also some exciting announcements to give you as our members. Before we do that, I want to make sure that all of you, I guess, get the message about some tragedies that's happened to our members the last few weeks. Make sure that you're aware. David Richards, who was our past president, he died at age 56 out in Seattle. Not unexpected, and we were all heartbroken for that. He's such a nice gentleman, and we hated it for him because he had the world of a tale. He had just moved out to take over as education director for a large multinational corporation, and was going to be traveling the world. So it's a shame, but wanted to make sure that you all knew that. And then 2 weeks later, one of our Project Healing Waters veterans, the one that introduced us to the program, Charles Ladd, died a week ago, Sunday. We believe, although we don't know for sure, that he died on some of the medication he was taking, because he was taking some very powerful stuff to try to solve his post-traumatic stress disorder. Charles, he was the real engine for our Project Healing Waters program. He was always there. He expressed a lot of energy and excitement for the group, and we are as well just very humbled by his passing. So we want to make sure you all knew that, as we will miss those two a lot. With that, we have some good news. I think you've heard us talk about River Course in the past. It's a course that's offered for 13 to 15-year-olds in the summertime down in the southwestern part of North Carolina. We have two young men that have been accepted into the program. One of those gentlemen goes to Summit School and has both of them wrote very nice letters about why they would want to join that and spend their summer doing that, because they both want to be biologists. But we're happy to have those two gentlemen be accepted into the program. We, you, and I will be sponsoring one of those 13-year-old boys from Summit School, paying his tuition. The other young boy is a friend of Duke Eisen, and Duke, having known the family for some period of time, has agreed to pay his tuition himself. So,
and River Course. Premature. River Course said they're picking it all up.
Is that right?
Yes.
Well, that's wonderful. Great.
So,
Great. So we should feel proud that we got out and shook the leaves and make sure that we found at least a couple of kids in this area who could benefit from our support and help. Thank you all for helping to make that happen. So we look forward to doing it again next year. The other thing I just wanted you to know, obviously tonight we have obviously a full house with only 1 or 2 seats left. We see ourselves growing. I think Matt has done an awfully good job of looking at the membership and making sure that we have the right email addresses and phone numbers and contacts. And so we're seeing more people who have been involved in Travel Unlimited for a number of years are now beginning to come and attend. So we are looking to see if we can find other locations to hold this event, as the room is just too small. Food is somewhat expensive, and so we're looking for other opportunities. Don't know where. I'm sorry? Oh, and we need some new board members as well. So we're looking for a vice president, fill a vice president's position. And Jamie tells us that she has accepted a new job, and pretty soon we'll be unavailable to participate in most of the meetings that we have. So we'll probably be looking for a secretary to replace you. So if you have calling interest, please see me or one of the board members. We'd love to have you participate with us. So with that, I want to ask Ron if he would talk a little bit about an outing that we have coming up.
For those of you who are new, and for the people that have heard about it before, we've got our Balsam Lodge set aside for April 8th, 9th, and 10th. And for the new people or people who haven't heard about it before, we usually will go up on a Friday. We carpool with some of your friends. We'll stop and have breakfast half a way up. You'll find a place to go fishing. We'll arrive at the Balsam Lodge that evening. I will assign food for individual people to bring so that at dinner, magically dinner appears, appetizers, dinner, and dessert. You bring your own libations. Next morning, on Saturday morning, we have Paul Shaponik's pancakes and Gene Pope's sausage, and we have eggs, etc. So you have breakfast. And then if you're familiar, Balsam Lodge is south of Asheville. It's in
Nantahala National Park.
Nantahala National Park. We're going to have an article on our website with information about Balsam, etc. So Saturday, we're in a prime area. Tuckasegee River is close by. A lot of rivers are close by. So people take off from the lodge, go fishing. We will have people that'll bring in lunch meats and sandwich meats. So you'll have your own lunch to take with you. Saturday night, we'll have dinner again, appetizers, dinner, and dessert. Sunday morning, we clean up the lodge. We use paper plates and plastic forks and so forth for that. And then on the way home, people will fish wherever they want to fish. So it's a great weekend. The cost of the weekend is probably like $40 plus the food that you might buy. So I don't think you'll ever find a place to go for that inexpensive for a great weekend. The people that you go with are people that you see sitting in a room here. Some of them are good, some of them not. We all have a good time. Everybody pitches in. We tell about the fish that got away, and some of the people will bring their own kits to tie flies that evening or what might be going on. So invite anybody and everybody. There are 16 beds, but we have to be careful because if we have, usually we'll have 2 women that might come.
Or more.
Or more, but so far 2's been the most. And so there's 14 beds, but there's 3 couches, 2 of which are already reserved. Like Allie and I have each a couch, so there's a couch. But there's plenty of floor space, or bring your own cots. There's places, there'll be pictures on the website as well of the interior of the lodge. Great weekend. If you haven't talked to somebody who's been there, talk to them because it's just really a good weekend. So I already have 9 people, potentially 11 signed up of the 18 or so that can go. If you want to go, you can send me an email. And do we have email addresses on the website? Okay, Ron Zambor. Please email me because I do tend to forget Tim sometimes. I don't know how many times Tim told me, and I still keep forgetting.
With Michelle's visitors, I'm sure that she will make it so that you can sign up right on the line.
Oh, okay.
You want to sign up for them?
Yeah, we'll talk about that, Michelle, but we just have to watch the numbers and see so many. So really, give you an opportunity to go out for a great weekend. And if you have any questions, you can see me afterwards or see anybody else. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Ron. I forgot to say something. There are a couple of entrepreneurs in the room, Ben and Carson, sitting right here, that are tying and selling flies. And I understand the hottest flies this side of California. So make sure you see them. Don, before you arrived, I thought you were probably not coming, so I asked Jamie if she would talk a little bit about the Drop in the Classroom. If you'd prefer to do it, it's up to you. So, but we want to understand, there's a lot happening with Drop in the Classroom, so we'd like to kind of hear about where you are and what's going on. So.
Okay. Well, we've had a pretty exciting week the last week. Some of you remember from last meeting, we were given a grant from Duke Energy. Jamie wrote that, and we really appreciate her stepping up and writing that for us. So Duke Energy, we're trying to work the relationship with Duke a little bit, and they were interested in some publicity. So some of you know we have a contact at WXII in the club, Michelle Kennedy. I dropped an email to her at noon on Wednesday, and by 3 o'clock, she's wanting to do a production on Thursday. So my Wednesday evening was rather busy, but we went to Reagan High School, and they showed up with a TV crew, myself and Matt, and you can see him on TV and a lot of the kids, and they haven't shown it yet to my knowledge. We don't know when it's going to be shown, but it's a great spot about trout in the classroom. Michelle loves our chapter and loves to fish herself, so we're very blessed to have her part of the club. A follow-up to that this Friday is Duke Energy is having an official check signing and another little publicity thing they're doing. We're hoping to have WXII there for that. They've tentatively promised, we'll say, that they'll be there. So they're going to take some pictures and do some stuff Friday of this week at one of our private schools, St. John's Lutheran on Salisbury Creek Parkway. And so you may at some point in the future see some of that in some of the Duke advertising. They're very committed to education, and we want to be able to continue to go back to them and get Jamie to do some more grants for them. So we're trying to keep them happy and work this relationship. And with this money that Jamie got for us, how this works out is we have monies for 2 new schools next year. And we're going to need volunteers for that. We'd love to have a couple more step up, and well, we got one back here now. He's holding his hands up saying he'd love it. So yeah, we're going to have 2 more schools, and we're also going to have monies for some standby equipment, which we've never been fortunate enough to have in this chapter. So we won't throw you to the wolves. We'll teach you everything you need to know. We'll hold your hand. May even take you to Marion to see the hatchery. So, any questions? Yes.
What would the 2 schools be?
Oh, well, we have the money. We prefer middle schools and high schools. Does that answer your question?
Maybe like not
Sure. Sure. Okay. We would need a biology or FFA type teacher, one that can work that into their curriculum.
And is willing to deal with the aquarium.
Yes.
Because it can be a lot of hassle, especially if you're not with the aquarium.
How many aquariums do we have in our chapter now?
8.
Well, kind of slow.
Thanks, Don. Thanks, Jamie. Matt, do you want to say anything about membership?
Oh, sure, just real quick, so we can get on with our presentation. I've asked several of you to fill out the sheet, but I didn't have your name and email. Those so my wife found out I was doing something wrong. So I've got 3 members already confirmed, yes, I found your membership and you will have new name badges. What I'm doing, the reason I keep asking everybody for their email is we have 400 members. And in the last email broadcast I sent out, I had 22 members come back with bad emails. In tandem with 77 members that did not have emails. So I did a postcard mailing for them, which is $35.35. So the more people I can find their email, get their contact, I can decrease that postage amount. Because we're kind of required to get the word out to all our membership, and I can tell it's working. So if I keep bugging for email, that's why. I just want to make sure we have everything that's up to date. The other thing is that...
7 o'clock.
Okay. That's okay. So, the other thing is, while up here too, before the end of the night, if you would like to fill out an interest card, they're up here. Just fill them in, turn them in the same box as you turn in your membership badge. And this is important. I want to point out, I keep bugging everybody about their membership card. This is how we tally the number of people that come, members, visitors, and whatnot. So it's important that you have your membership badge and you put it in the box at the end of the night so we can get a tally of how many. We're not tracking you down, we're just trying to get an idea because we're looking for more room, we're looking to expand and grow. So, let's see, is there anything else I need to mention, Roy?
Would you ask new members that are new people, new visitors that are
Oh, yes.
like to stand?
Absolutely. How many, well, first of all, yeah, how many new visitors here tonight? Okay, all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, well, thank you very much for coming out. And just for my curiosity, how many people here knew about this meeting because of email? How many because of a postcard? 2, 3? I mean, okay. And did anybody see the posters out at the Green Drake or Outdoor Provisions? All right, good. Like I said, we're trying to get the information out there. Just curious what's working the best, and I appreciate it. Just like I said, I keep bugging for emails, and I appreciate it. Yes, sir.
We have new people stand up and just say who they are.
Sure. Yes, absolutely. Would y'all mind?
Curtis Wilson.
Al Mortensen.
Joel Shepherd.
Chris Michael.
I think that's it.
No, it's not.
Frank Beasley.
Great to have you all with us tonight, especially the new members, but it's also great to see all the old faces back. Thank you all for being here. Yes.
Okay, one more thing. We have t-shirts back here from the Fly Fishing Show, Blue Ridge chapter. On the backside is Winston-Salem Road. He's recruiting everybody. $15 help Rusty. The proceeds go to the club. Yep. That's it.
Thank Hal and Tim. Tim did the artwork and Hal actually did the t-shirt printing work for us.
Jerry Knapp is our Conservation Committee Chairman and the librarian. And I'd like to ask him to talk a little bit about both of those.
Conservation, 2 weeks from today, there's fishing the Mitchell, fishing Stone Mountain, fishing the Watauga. I will be up at the Mitchell helping them stock. If anybody else can get there, it's about 11:30 in the morning. You can get up to Stone Mountain. I think their chapter might be up there to help stock. On the 2nd of March, I believe it's Elk Creek, Redis Creek. The 3rd will be the Ararat up in Mount Airy. Whether or not they need help, even though sometimes the guys say they can't, they might not need help, they could always use it. As far as the library, Michelle goes and shows you, basically all you have to do is put the information in, it's self-explanatory. I got 5 books or 6 books are also out this evening. And next month, if you ask for it, I'll have them right back here, or I'll get around and give them to you.
Thank you, Jerry.
You bet.
I guess the next thing I want to do is kind of introduce Rusty Berry. Rusty is our communications membership chairman. And although Rusty has been not the only one who's been involved in this activity, he is charged with responsibility. And I think you've done a pretty darn good job. So Rusty, I'm gonna let you explain what you're doing and what we're gonna be talking about tonight.
What we're getting ready to show you is the result of a lot of hard work by myself, watching it being done, Roy watching it being done, Matt bringing our ace in the hole on this. Primarily, there's other people on the board as well who have attended the meetings, but we've been working for the last month to revamp, revitalize, and actually make a usable, functional, friendly website for the chapter. We all got together, we said, this is what we need, Michelle. And then we turned Michelle, who is our small miracle, loose on this. We need this by so-and-so. The next day, we're getting emails with the new website. Michelle, I'm gonna turn it over to you to demonstrate. But again, guys, you guys need a real round of applause for all the hard work.
If I can sit, it would be easier. If not, I can stand. Can you hear me? Everybody hear me? I'm more of a behind-the-scenes type of person. But if you have information that you want, I'm a graphic designer by trade, so this is right up my alley. What we wanted was something easy to use, of all ages, a communication tool. We wanted something that we could share events, not just Blue Ridge, but sister groups around the area within driving distance that might be Project Healing Water event, or it might be a Trout in the Classroom event. That's what we wanted to do, to educate, to inform, and to get people involved and have a good time fishing and preserving and protecting our cold water fisheries. So that's what we're here for. Now, our URL did not change, so www.blueridgetu.org. If you've received email from me, it should be all over the place, in your face. But if you visit there, this will take you to the home page. And on the home page, we have what's happening now. We'll have about our next chapter meeting. We'll have links to more information and a slider. So I know you wanted me to hit on the...
Just kind of walk through each one of them individually so they can kind of see. And you might say to Ron, this is where your Balsam Lodge outing will be posted as well.
Right. Right in the center is just kind of a short blurb of some events going on. You can click on any one of the numbers and find it. So if I click on Marabou Madness, it's going to take me to a flyer that's going to tell you all about Marabou Madness. So instead of putting all this information on, we've just got a blurb. If you're interested, you click on it, and as it scrolls by, and you can get more information. All of those work that way. So the Marabou Madness is on Saturday the 19th. It tells you who to call and who to email if you're interested.
You as members of Trout Unlimited are welcome to attend this event. If you're with Project Healing Waters, the event is free. So if you're a volunteer for Project Healing Waters, if you're not, but you're just interested in fly tying, you can attend, but it will cost you $50. But it's a great outing. It's a weekend event on Saturday with some fishing there at the Beckman Center. So it gives you something else to look forward to. So.
Also on this page, I'll kind of go back over this in just a minute. If you are new, like if somebody new, you can direct that person to Blue Ridge TU. They can join here by clicking tu.org. It will open a new page, and take you directly to the form, and they can select our chapter. And I've listed it real big. Hopefully everybody will see that they'll join under 072 Blue Ridge.
Make sure when you join, you put in your current email.
Yes.
Real important.
I thought also on the first page, we kind of needed to know what the new trout regulations, things changed, so that link to the NC Wildlife is also here. And it should take you specifically to the trout fishing page, and you can get all the information about the new regulations and what it is. I've copied some of their things on our page, so if you look here, this will tell you about the rainbow trout. If you click, you'll get a link to more information about the rainbow, the brook, and the brown. You can also click here for fish stocking information. Just an easy place for you to find it, instead of going to the wildlife site and digging and trying to find the trout. I thought this would be helpful for everybody to go. We'll just go to Blue Ridge and click and find it. We also have the fishing areas and the maps that you can search here by county.
Some of those cards that Matt is asking you to fill out, where you specify what's the real reason you joined this club. You know, and many times people say, well, so I can find out where to go fishing, or so I can find out what to fish with, or I want somebody to go fishing with me. You know, so we try to take those ideas and populate this website with that kind of information. So the idea of having a fabulous map that North Carolina Wildlife Resource Commission has, which shows all the places, either wild trout or delayed harvest or whatever it might be, at your fingertips, so you can go find all these places. It's pretty amazing.
Like I said, I'm not going to show you the functionality of other sites, but I'm going to show you the links to where we have everything in one place for you. One other thing is trout health. If you are fishing and you see something, some odd behavior or signs of disease, I've also put a link here where you can click here and fill out a contact form. Now this says whirling disease, but if you were here at the last meeting, the wildlife people said they would like to have information on any kind of disease that you might see.
Gill lice.
Yeah, gill lice. And I just put a link here so you can submit it and find that form easily when you're out fishing or when you come back from fishing. I want to bring to your attention, right on the bottom, this is on every page. If you have any corrections or additions or updates, I am the web administrator, so if you click here, you can fill out a form and submit it, and it will come to me. So I can get information or make any revisions or corrections if somebody sees something wrong, or if they'd like to add something, or if they have an idea that they would like to see happen. They can fill it out here and submit that request, and I'll get back with you as soon as I can. Now, I'll go back to the what's happening page. So, you know, each one of these you can click on and go to an outside source. You can also click on the what's happening here.
Michelle, I don't know if they can see it, I'm trying to relate to them, but for some of the guys, if you notice her cursor, every time she goes up in an area that you can click on, it turns to a
hand.
finger, a hand.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really easy to navigate.
So like it changes from a pointer to a hand. So I'm going to click here information on our information page here. So if we want to look at the International Custom Rod Building Expo, you can click on the front page, or you can go to the information page and click on it as well. So this will tell you more about it.
You're all aware that's this weekend, right? Saturday and Sunday? From 9 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon.
Do you have a link to the membership roster? Do you have a link to the membership roster?
The membership roster?
You know, emails and phone numbers of the members, do you have a link to that?
Not to everybody, we do for the board members.
I'm not sure that we can do that.
Yeah, I
legally.
wouldn't.
You could
say-
do it if people allow you, if
If
they say it's
if
okay, yeah.
If we go back and ask all 400 people if we can share that, which we have not done yet, but it's something that would be of interest, I would think.
So what I was thinking, if, let's say you like to fish at the Mitchell and you're available to fish during your weekdays, you know,
I'll
you
show
can
you
find.
that.
Show you how to do that.
Yeah,
Oh.
there's a way to get to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we're on our information page. Like I said, this tells more detailed information about the events that are sliding on the homepage. And when all our chapter meetings are. We also have our social media page, so anything that's been posted on our Facebook page will show up here. And if you're in here, you can click like or comment or share straight through our website. Some other upcoming events we saw, do you want me to go over each event, or do you want me to just let you?
They can find it.
Yeah. Each one has more information that you can click on that will take you to a flyer or their website so you can see more. Also, under the information, I'll go under trout tails. Right now, there's only one. If you have a specific article, if anybody would like to write an article or found an article that they find interesting, this would be a good place to put it. I just, since we had just talked about growing disease, I found this article and put it up for it. So if you have a trip experience that you'd like to write an article, you can send it to me and I'll add it there. People can make comments about the articles here, like it on Facebook or tweet about it. And you can look at the archives and the categories. Under information, there's any questions about that?
You mentioned Facebook, do we have a Facebook group?
Yes. So we've got guides and gear. If you have additions to this, I'd love to hear, but these are places that were listed on the old site. So we have information about good guides in certain areas and outfitters around the region, and links to their sites as well. The next, we have some local streams. So these are streams that we thought were easily accessed within the triad. It tells a little bit about each stream and gives you, you can go click and go to Google Maps and it should tell you. I also have, for some way out things, I've got some Google Earth coordinates like this on them. So to help you find and pinpoint where the fish are. Then there are user forums, which is, Mr. Shepherd, that's pretty much what we were talking about. So if you have, like if you want to start an event or start a topic and say, hey, I'm going fishing and I'd like to go, anybody want to join me? Of course, there's no post right now, it's brand new. I hope that users will go on there and log in using Facebook or it's got about 6 or 8 different ways you can log in. It doesn't have to be Facebook, it can be Google account, it can be Yahoo. Some people are having trouble with their avatars, but I can't help you there. I think it has to do with whatever account you use is the avatar you're going to get. Like mine that you see here is from my Facebook account.
Michelle, do you have like a stream report underneath the forums there?
No.
Okay.
That would be probably either under fishing reports. We're limited to 5 different
Okay.
forums, and I think that would, under fishing reports, news and events, trading post, or off topic. I think we
Yeah,
could,
fishing
we could do
reports.
one more, but I think fishing reports would probably fall under that. And if you start little conversations, you can kind of talk amongst yourselves, just like any other forum. And then I have a place where we have videos, links to interesting videos that, so if you have any videos that you see on YouTube or Vimeo, I can add those to the site as well.
Those are 2 great videos, by the way. You should go and watch those.
Next, the next tab is programs. So I'm just going to click at the top. And so this is your brief description of the programs that this chapter supports. Of course, we mentioned 2 of these tonight, 3 of these tonight: Trout in the Classroom, River Course, and Conservation. Then we have Project Healing Waters, and then the Fishing Mentors Program, which is also a place where we have people who are interested in having a fishing buddy. If your name is on this list and you want it off this list, please let me know. Or if it's missing from the list and you want to go on this list, please let me know. Or you can contact Rusty Berry, and his contact name is right here.
Sam Stitcher will put his email and telephone number up soon.
Okay. So, if we go to Trout in the Classroom, for instance, and we'll click for more information, we have a separate page dedicated to Trout in the Classroom because it's such a big part of our organization. And we have about, if you want to read more about the grant, we'll have that, and those date and times. And as we get information, Michelle Kennedy's going to supply me with some of the video and photos from the events, and when she sends those to me, I will put them up on the web for everybody to see. But basically, each page will tell you, what is Trout in the Classroom, and someone asked about which schools that were sponsored. Here they are. And it's also a form if you'd like to volunteer or donate or sponsor this. You can send a message to Don and he'll get back with you. And this is a link to the national site, so if you want to find out more about Trout in the Classroom as a whole and not just our chapter, you can click here. The next program would be our chapter library that Jerry was talking about. If you look through the list, you'll find all the books and DVDs and even videotapes that we have on file in our chapter library. If you see a red missing, and with the transition, if you look at home and find any of these missing items, that's why I left them up here. It's changed hands several times, and I think it hasn't been as organized, and I think Jerry's doing a good job of getting everything together and filed and everything in one place. So that's why I'm leaving the missing. We've had one recovered item so far. Now, here's kind of the rules. We've got, you can read those, but if you fill in your name and your phone number and your email and how you'd like to be contacted and list the books that you want, this request goes straight to Jerry and he'll have your books here for the next meeting.
It worked perfect for me.
Yep.
Me too.
Yep, we had 3 requests
Jerry.
this week,
Yes,
so.
sir.
Then under the next, we have the conservation. And this is just some information about how we participate in the conservation of certain areas around our area. The North Carolina Wildlife number is here to report if you need to report any violations. The key to conservation is to observe and communicate your findings to the right people. As we get events, usually more in the spring and things, I'd love to put the dates up for those, for Stone Mountain and for the Ararat in March, but you'll find those dates here. Okay. We'll go to Project Healing Waters. Our area didn't have, Winston-Salem, they have a great Facebook page, but they did not have a dedicated web place. So this is for all the people who are helping out and volunteering with Project Healing Waters. We've added an event calendar, and you can just scroll through it. It has all 12 months. We'll try to update those. You can also blow that up big and print those out if you want to, so you can see.
Jerry, Larry, you don't have to call me anymore and ask me.
If you don't call me later.
If you have questions,
Call me
there is an email link here that goes directly to you, and a Facebook page that links to their thing. And we also have some information about Charles Ladd and a video. Would you like to play this video? Okay. Here's a short video about why we fish.
I fish because I love to. Because I love the places where trout are found, which are invariably beautiful. I fish because I love to. Because in a world where most folks seem to spend their lives doing things they hate, my fishing is at once an endless source of delight and an act of small rebellion.
Well, buffering.
I fish because of all the television commercials, cocktail parties, and a sort of social posturing I thus escape. I fish because mercifully there are no telephones on trout waters. I fish because trout do not lie or cheat and cannot be bought or bribed or impressed by power, but respond only to quietude and humility and endless patience. I fish because only in the woods can I find solitude without loneliness. I fish because bourbon out of an old tin cup always tastes better out there. I fish because maybe one day I'll catch a mermaid. I fish because I suspect that we are going along this way for the last time. And I, for one, don't want to waste the trip. And finally, I fish not because I regard fishing as being so terribly important, but because I suspect that so many of our other concerns are equally unimportant. and not nearly so much fun.
That was done by 10 views.
Continuing on last, we have a gallery. If you have photos that you'd like to add, you can add them. You can share them on Facebook with us, and I can pull them down and put them on here, or you can email me directly.
Yeah, it is.
And then we have the contact page, which if you have any questions about TU, questions about any of the programs, questions about membership, this form submits to our membership director, Matt. And you can email any of our board members and officers here.
Cheryl, do you have a link to the NCTU website on National?
I do. I skipped it's under About TU.
Right front page.
Yeah, right at the front page, About TU. Here is our chapter, our mission, and our affiliations. So here's the NCTU and the TU.org and a copy of our bylaws. Did I forget anything, leave anything out that you saw?
Nice job.
Please use it.
Yes.
It's a tool. It's there.
Yeah, this-
Really meant for all of us to use. And,
I think you need to submit this to National as the best
Oh, that's all.
best chapter
Yeah.
website.
I've seen a lot, they give awards for that.
Yeah.
It's being
I
done.
want you to know that we
Rusty?
had
Already on.
we had our first meeting in mid-January. We talked about this, and not knowing what to expect, we all went home, and the next morning, Michelle, we had this done already.
Not completely.
Anyway, it has been kind of fun doing this, and it's given us a chance to ask questions about what we want to see and how we want things to be done. So we obviously need to populate the content more, and we appreciate if you will use it, play with it, and if you find things that you think can be changed or added to make it better, please recommend those things to us.